What is going on, guys? I'm Tom George, the coach of your San Francisco 49ers, here to bring you my Season 6 Week number 8 match against the Atlanta Hawluchas, or at Yo Fizz, whatever you want to call him. Very threatening opponent. He has done very well in the previous seasons of the GBA leading up to this one, and is doing pretty well in this one too, and he has a very threatening Pokemon on his team. Not even threatening Pokemon, he's a very threatening team in general. So let's go right over it right now. He has the Mega Scizor, the Volcanian, the Gengar, the Salamence, the Hawlucha, Whimsicott, the Porygon 2, the Zoroark, the Rhyperior, the Electivire, and the Musharna. Immediately, his biggest threats to me, assuming, are the Mega Scizor, the Volcania, and the Salamence. Everything else is tolerable. The Rhyperior could be a problem. And yeah, so also, oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I don't think I made a video for this, so I'm just gonna mention it now. I did make 2 transactions, and they were 2 pretty big transactions in my opinion. So I'm just gonna quickly explain them, and that is with these 2 Pokemon right here, Manaphy and Mamoswine. So how would I have gotten Manaphy and Mamoswine? Well, I decided to trade, sadly, Latias or Lil Red, whatever you want to call her, but sad to see her go. But we are picking up a huge threat in the form of Manaphy, and a Pokemon that can carry us on its back alone to the championship. So that's why I made the trade. Also, I didn't like Melodic that much as a bulky water. It was not, I don't know, it's just not, I didn't like it too much, honestly. So I decided to get a different bulky water, and I got Manaphy, and then I was like, okay, well now I need Melodic gone, and people were offering me stuff, and Mamoswine came up, and me and Tom decided to do a trade for Melodic and Mamoswine. So I got a Mamoswine now, and I got a Manaphy instead of Latias and Melodic. So overall, I think that's 2 very good trades for me, and that's gonna really help my team in the future. But anyways, let me get on into the sets I decided to bring. So you see in front of you a weird ass Infernape set, and this is my late game sweeper. Oh, I actually forgot about this. Hold on, I'm going to pause the video. Alright guys, well, I was very confused because I was like, that's not the team I prepped for. Where he doesn't have a Gengar, he doesn't have a Musharna, what's going on? And turns out I took an outdated team and just put it next to me. So this real team is the Volcanian, the Mega Scizor, the Salamence, the Whimsicott, the Rhyperior, the Porygon 2, the Hawlucha, the Zoroark, and then the 3 new ones are the Heliolisk, the Florges, and the Kecleon. So those 3 were the ones I was forgetting. I'm like, that's not his team. There's something wrong here. But let me get right on into the team I brought. So this Pokemon, I don't need Fire Stab against his team. The only thing I need to hit with Fire Stab is the Mega Scizor and the Whimsicott. And the not even Heliolisk. I have close combat for that. So yeah, all I need is Fire Stab is the Flame Charge. So I have the Flame Charge. If he kills something off with Bullet Punch on the Mega Scizor, I go into my Infernape. I click Flame Charge no matter what he goes into, whether it's a Choice Scarf, Mence, something like that. I will outspeed the following turn, and then I can go for Stone Edge or Gunshot or Close Combat. I have the Expert Belt because these 3 moves for coverage hit almost everything super effective on his team. The only thing I don't hit super effective is the Hawlucha. That's the only Pokemon that can possibly stop my sweep, and that's really weird to think about, but that is the only thing that can stop me. And just with the set I have, I go +1 and I absolutely obliterate everything else. So that's the whole thought process behind that. I just weaken his team, I go into Tarzan, and I go from there. So next up, I have a Choice Scarf to Electabuzz on my team. The HP, the Volt Switch, the Focus Blast, and the T-Bolt. With enough speed, you guys can see a common trend here of 168. It allows me to outspeed a Salamence, and then max speed Jolly Salamence, and then so even if he's at a +1 boost, or if he's a Choice Scarf set, I do outspeed him, and I take him out with the lovely HP Ice. Also, if he doesn't bring the Rhyperior, he doesn't have a switch into Volt Switch. His only switch into it is going to be the Florges or the Porygon 2, both of which I have answers to, so I Volt Switch out, and etc, etc. So that's really good for me. It does a lot of damage to his entire team. I'm really happy that we got to pick up Electabuzz the previous week. So this mon's gonna be doing a lot of working this week. Next up, got my Volcanian answer right here, but not the coverage you guys probably expected it to run. So, got the Rain Dance, the Scald, the Psychic, and the Tail Glow. I have the Rain Dance because I decided if I'm switching into Steam Eruptions, I'm going to want the Hydration. So I have that for that. Also, I don't think he would stay in and just continuously go for Steam Eruption against me. So overall, I don't think it's a bad thing to have up the Rain. I have the Scald for pretty obvious reasons, and then I have the Psychic, not the Ice Beam. So the reason I have the Ice Beam, the reason I have the Psychic over the Ice Beam is because of the Volcanian. If I run Ice Beam, I can't touch the Volcanian, and this thing's main job is to counter it. So I have other checks to Salamence, I have other checks to Whimsicott. This thing is meant to come in on Volcanian, go for Tail Glow, and just hit stuff with Psychic. That's its main job, and that's what it's going to do. So I have an interesting EV spread here. I have 20 EVs in case he wants to try to speed creep, min speed, base 100. So I have 20 EVs there. Then I have the 76 calm nature, so that I can take a timid Life Orb T-Bolt from full, I believe, after rocks. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the calc I had from a Heliolisk. And then the rest is just in defense and in HP. So it's a pretty not standard, but it's a pretty mixed, bulky set. So it's just gonna be taking hits from both sides. Take Earthquakes off Rhyperiors if it has to. Sucker Punches off the Zoroark. Knock off the Zoroark. I could take a T-Bolt off a P2 Tri Attack. Probably live a Giga Drain off of Whimsicott. So overall, that's a pretty good set right here. This is the type of bulky water I like to have on my team. Something I can run cool EVs like this and just absolutely just destroy teams, hopefully. So next up, I got Pookie right here. Mammoth Swine holding the Babiri Berry and the Thick Fat ability. So the Thick Fat's pretty self-explanatory. If I want to take a Fire Blast off of Volcanian, I can't. But if he's not max special attack, I can. Who knows? I had the Stealth Rocks because rocks hurt his team a lot, especially because his only two defoggers are the Mega Scizor. If he has to go for defog on the Mega Scizor, that's one less coverage move I have to worry about, or SD I have to worry about. If it's on the Salamence, he's taking 25% every time he comes in, and if he comes in on the Mammoth Swine expecting me to go for rocks, then I just go for Ice Shot or Ice Crash and take him out. So that's that. And then you see the Babiri Berry. So if it is an offensive Scizor and not a defensive Scizor, and he tries to switch in on my Mammoth Swine, and he's not Mega Evolved yet, I have a very good chance of it KOing him. If he has no HP investment and he switches in as a regular Scizor, I believe I will KO him after the second EQ. So no matter what, it's a very good set to have, especially because his Mega Scizor is really his only switch in, unless it's a physically defensive Porygon 2. It's his only switch in to my Mammoth Swine, and of course I have to have a way of dealing with Porygon 2, and that's going to come up with Captain right here. So Nidoqueen really has one main job, and that is you get up your goddamn Toxic Spikes. Look at this man's team, and look what Toxic Spikes does to it. The Volcanian, the Whimsicott, the Rhyperior, the P2, the Zoroark, the Heliolisk, the Florist, and the Kecleon all get hit by Toxic Spikes. And if he wants to run Defog again, he's going to have to try to Defog against something, and most of my Pokemon have answers to the ones that are going to run Defog, so I'm not too concerned about that at all. I have the Flamethrower, the Earth Power, and the Sludge Wave. I have the Sludge Wave because of the Florges and the Whimsicott. Also, it's the best move I have to hit the Salamence because I'm not going to be running Ice Beam. The Earth Power is for the Volcanian and the Rhyperior and the Heliolisk, and then the Flamethrower is mainly for the Mega Scizor, and it could be for the Heliolisk and the Whimsicott too if I don't want to predict around stuff. But yep guys, so that is going to be Captain right here. Some nice EVs. I don't need max special attack on this thing because if I go for Sludge Wave, it's going to 2-hit KO the Florges anyway, and the Whimsicott gets O-Code from a non-invested one. The Flamethrower is going to kill the Mega Scizor no matter what. With this EV spread, it depends on his EVs, of course. If he's max specially defensive, I don't think it'll kill him, but I don't expect max specially defensive. And overall, I just wanted more bulk instead of more special attacks, so that's why I decided to do that. After that, I'm going my big bro right here. I'm lacking a Pokemon that can take hits on the special side reliably, as in I have offensive checks to his more physical Pokemon, in the form of the Babiri Berry on the Mega Scizor, and Rhyperior, I just outspeed with every single Pokemon on my team and take it out. So the rest of his team is predominantly special hitters. So what I decided to do is run an Assault Vest on my Snorlax this week with the Ice Punch, the Earthquake, the Fire Punch, and the Return, and the Thick Fat ability. So I could switch this in on Volcania, on the Fire Blast, not on Steam Eruptions, that's Manaphy's job, but I can do that. And with the max defense, I can take out the Mega Scizor using the Fire Punch. I can take out the Salamence using the Ice Punch. I can take out the Whimsicott using Ice Punch, the Rhyperior using Earthquake. Porygon 2 is more of a problem. The Hawlucha I can't take on, except the Zoroark I can take out with Return. Heliolisk, Earthquake, the Florida's Return. Overall, it can take a lot of hits, and that's the main job of it, is if the Heliolisk comes out, and I don't want to predict around a Volt switch. I don't have a switch into Hyper Voice, so this is my Hyper Voice switch in right here. So anyways, guys, that is going to be the team for this week. So if you did in fact enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate you to comment, like, rate, or subscribe. Once again, I'm Steph Thomas here, George the Coach, if you were San Francisco Arcanines, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out.